What's poppin', everybody? This is ICJ and Terabang Entertainment, Fig, The Mix, all of the above. This is another ICJ's moment of reflection. Right now, I am driving across the Bay Bridge on my way to San Francisco from Oakland. I had a great weekend. My cousin Brienne came through, and we were able to go to Napa Valley. This is the first time I'm going, and I've been up here. It's only an hour away, which is super crazy. But it kind of goes to show now I'm letting go a little bit, but I used to be, working so much that I wouldn't take the time to explore in my territory. Anyway, this day's moment of reflection is about expectations, taking action, and hesitancy. So one thing that I'd like to kind of talk about is how expectations can and hesitancy can really ruin the momentum that you have when you're trying to go towards your goals. And I know everything isn't going towards your goals, but if you are trying to achieve something, it's really important that you do move forward, gain momentum, and take action. So I think that a lot of people have expectations of things happening and things being given to them without them taking action. And so they wait, including myself. I did this when I was younger, including waiting for the perfect storm of right events and circumstances that allow them to take the first step to move towards what they really want out of life. And that is not only circle around money or success. It also has to do with friendships, relationships, where you are in life, travel, education. Pretty much it encompasses life itself. We all need momentum to move forward. I think a lot of this is brought about by our psyche coming out of or going into high school, where when you're in high school, when you get out and you have certain grades, you expect that you are going to go to a good college right away without knowing the right people or making the right connections or doing extraneous extra exercises and work to move forward. Or the idea that if you go to a great college and you don't put the time into to understand people or know people or network in that way, or even make great things, just going to college will allow you to have a great job or get a certain salary. Or the same expectations that people have on their job themselves, in the job or the position themselves, that they will climb the corporate ladder and have a house and a car of certain specifications, and that's all given to you. The other expectations are also relationship based. Just because you're in a relationship with a beautiful person, woman or man, who are great, that does not last unless you take action to sustain that. And I think that's kind of built in our society a little bit. Some of it has to do with privilege, whether it be racial privilege or class privilege. But some of it just happens to be like our thought process through our industrialized educational system. And having worked in there in the school system for that many years, I can understand why that is the case, because there are not a lot of time. Anyway, I'm kind of going off the deep end on that. But when I was younger, I personally had hesitation. I was a decent artist. I went to an art high school. I worked moderately hard on art. I worked hard at everything else. But I thought that since I had this gift of an artistic ability, that it would cultivate itself and then I was just going to, go to art college and be great, right? But that's not exactly what happened. I spent time in a junior college for a couple years, didn't know what I was going to do, thought that just chilling in a junior college, even though I was getting pretty much straight A's, that I was just, things were just going to come to me and happen. That still wasn't the case. I ended up going to an art college that I'm not going to talk about because it doesn't need to be announced at all because it's whack. But I met great people there. I thought that after that, I was just going to get, a great job in the industry, but found out in a tough way that towards the end I had to work my ass off in order to create a portfolio that was good enough, and also not only have a portfolio, but have the contacts and build relationships to make that happen. And it's just interesting the amount of time I spent with expectations, having something happen and not taking action to create the momentum I want. And I'm not going to say that I'm super, I was lazy at all. I wasn't lazy at all, but I didn't plan and write down the things that I wanted to move towards. And so I was efficiently doing well where I was at, but not efficiently moving towards the goals that I wanted to achieve. And that is not only in my success as a student and towards my career goals, but that also happened in my relationships. I didn't work towards, until a little bit later when I really was out on my own and I appreciated my mother and all of the things that she worked hard as a single parent doing to raise me. I didn't really take the necessary steps to engage her and see how she was doing and, give her things and make sure she was okay. And that I felt guilty about a little bit later on. And then the other aspect was my romantic relationship. I thought that since I was in a relationship and it was a long relationship, that it would just sustain itself. But it doesn't. It's definitely takes work. And then also when there was times when I felt it was pretty much we were going in our separate directions, trying to maintain that and having a hesitation to actually call out the problems that were there until it was too late and things just exploded. But since that time, I kind of realized that you cannot expect for things to happen or things to come to you without you taking action. And so that is very much led me to the successes that I've been having on a yearly basis with building my teams and companies and such. And again, I'm not saying any of this is perfect. It's far from perfect. It needs tons and tons of work. But over the last 8 years, I've grown so much because I am able to adequately figure out ways to compensate for my lack of motivation and take action instead of hesitate and waiting for things to happen to me. That's today's moment of reflection. Again, this is ICJ. I hope everybody has a great day, a great week. Hopefully I could bust some more of these out and I'll be in the Fig Foam room instead of in my car with the GoPro. Anyway, this is ICJ out. Peace.